The night of delivering apples continues, and with it, the return of the bad pawns. We left the main six shortly after bringing back Flutterbat, who they now secured and restrained. Flutterbat is a wild monster, but if Twilight uses her as a template, she can turn the rest of them into bats, but with their personality and intelligence intact. So they can take care of the apples, while the CMC makes sure that Flutters doesn't escape. I'm sure they can handle it. Now, everyone at the ready to turn into Twilight Sparkling, Rainbow Bite, Nosfu-Rarity, Drinky Pie, and Apple Drag, who fly off into the night. Some well-designed ponies get bothered by apples, but not for much longer. A tongue springs out from behind the wall to drain an apple. Nosfu-Rarity is doing good work. All of them are. Sneaking up on apples and sucking their juice out. Twilight Sparkling Vampire. They really just made a Twilight joke. Rainbow Bite is flying around. Drinky Pie is hanging around. And Apple Drag thinks she's a monster. But all goes according to plan. They move to Sweet Apple Acres and free Spike and Good Apple through fabulousness and vampire strength. Now, on to the next step. Where did these apples come from? Spike knows. They come from the meteor. But before that, we switch to Flutterbat, who is talking to herself? Fluttershy and Flutterbat have an inner conflict. She can't be free, she can't be controlled. But what if she can? She's an animal, and Flutters knows how to talk to animals, and breaks free. While the apples discover the rest of the bats, and they overwhelm them. The odds are against them. Pinky calls them out about the meteor, but that one is only used to create more of them, and they don't need more. The main bats are drowning in apples once again, though Spike is keeping Good Apple safe. But now another thing comes up. Flutterbat arrives, and she has brought with her friends, the vampire fruit bats. They and her go in, and first she saves Twilight and tells her about her breakthrough. She can control the bat and talk to the bats. Now they have the numbers and surprise on their side, sucking the juice out of the apples and catching lots of them in sacks. Now the army is the one that's overwhelmed and falling back, and they left the meteor unguarded. But not on Bad Apple's watch. If they can't have Ponyville, they will destroy it and form together into a giant Spikezilla that may look ugly, but gives them an opportunity to reform all the apples that are under Bad Apple's influence at once, just by replacing him with Good Apple. Drinky and Spike take care of the meteor, and the others distract the Zilla, while Bitey does the switch. Ponyville is in flames again, and the CMC is about to get crushed, but Nosfu-Rarity and Apple Drag save them last second. Flutterbat leads the bats towards the monster, but Bad Apple isn't impressed. In the meantime, Twilight tries to absorb the rock's magic, but it's too much for her to handle. But she knows what to do. Get the party cannon ready, load on the rock, and aim it at the sky. Now Twilight transfers her power to Spike, who fires up the cannon and blasts the rock into the sky, which explodes into fireworks. The Appezilla is distracted. Rainbow Bite can now go in and with a wham! She replaces bad with good. She crashes down, but got the job done. And now it's Good Apple's turn. And his power actually does it. He brings out the sweetness in the apples and helps them onto the good side. He did it. The Appezilla is good now. Everything is good. However, Ponyville will pay for the damages. On the next day, the princesses explain. The meteor came from their fight 1,000 years ago, and it was infused with their conflict, but also with their love for each other, which infused Good Apple. Their battle affects things to this day, but they can learn from it and give the apples land to thrive and build a good home for themselves. Even Bad Apple is invited, and the Apple Kingdom will always be there if the ponies need help. The princesses conceal the kingdom so that they can carve out their future in peace. Though Apple Bloom asked if they should have forgiven them that easily, but Celestia answers wisely. Everyone has bad aspects to their personality, but if we work hard enough, and we truly want to, we can strive to rise above that. Like Fluttershy, who was able to control Flutterbat. We don't have to be controlled by those feelings. Kind of like cutie marks. They combine skills, personality, and interests. Scootaloo is smart, and with that insight, they will have their cutie marks in no time. Just not yet. Twilight now mentions something that I completely believe in. It would be interesting to sometime return to the valley, but for now, time for the balloon ride back, and Pinky suggests to have some apple pie once they are home, or apple cobbler, apple turnover, or apple tart. If she goes on like that, she might have to walk back home. I agree with Twilight. I want to see them again sometime, but I can tell y'all that we never do. but it's interesting how the far past can affect the future, creating these completely new creatures, creating life, and at the side, making that life wreak havoc in Ponyville. But anyway, we all know what the coolest part of this issue was: the return of the Bad Ponies, and the official names that the main 6 Batforms got. Bad Ponies were severely underused, and Fluttershy overcoming the beastly instincts of Flutterbat shows the amazing strength of her character. Now prepare to see neither Bad Ponies nor Living Apples again. With that, the Night of the Living Apples ends, and everything is alright. Except all the trauma and destruction that lingers in Ponyville. But now, I wanna know what you think about the storyline. Let me know, thanks to my patrons, especially to Maverick. Join my Discord if you wanna discuss some more, and until next time, for the bonus Ponyfellas, and bye!